Hello, everyone. This is pretty terrific, and it's Friday again. And I'm Chris.
I'm Marie. What's up? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, yeah. And I feel like this Friday, it was a week. It felt like a lot of work this week for me. I don't know about you. It sounds like it was for you, though.
Yeah, it was a lot of work, I gotta tell you. I don't want to dwell on it
No.
because this is pretty
This
terrific.
is terrific.
Not this is pretty work.
No.
Yeah, this is the good times.
Yeah.
You and me, bro.
You and me, friends till the end, blood brothers till. What happens until something bad?
I don't know. I guess so. People say like till the wheels fall off, and I'm like, of what?
I guess they're riding a wagon, figuratively.
A wagon. I like that you went to wagon because I was like, they probably mean like a car. Or do they mean a motorcycle? Maybe a bicycle? But I think a wagon is nice. Are you thinking like covered wagon, Oregon Trail style, or like Little Red?
No, yeah, I am thinking straight up. These are because I'm imagining people saying it are guys from the hood, and they got a muscle shirt on, and they're sitting in a radio flyer, and they're being pulled, and they're like, "You're my homie," until the wheels come off this radio flyer.
This radio flyer, yes.
Yeah, I think that's.
I think
nice
that's
thought.
nice. Yeah, well, I was thinking of the covered wagon with the little wheels, but now I want to think wheelbarrow.
Yeah, I like that too. And only one wheel's gonna come off though. Maybe it doesn't work.
Okay, yeah, okay, fair enough. Okay, never mind. It's not enough. Okay, pointing out my plot holes elsewhere. Okay.
And
Hi.
Hi. And we did the barest modicum of prep for this as usual, but more than we usually did because we were like, you had at least one terrific thing.
I had one thing.
Yeah. So lay it on us.
Oh my God.
What was terrific today? Spreadsheets.
But not just spreadsheets. A well-designed spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Wow, Chris. Have you ever been in one and you're like, whoa? Well, I understand what's being conveyed to me.
I was for the first time. I was because of you on Wednesday. You shared a spreadsheet design you were working on, and I was blown away. And this is something like we had 2 listeners. Now we have 1. Maybe we're edging on 0 because we're talking about spreadsheets. But you think about a well-designed spreadsheet, man. Like they are beautiful.
Wow.
Like when someone puts thought into the colors and the typography. It's just so much more readable. It feels. I almost didn't believe what you sent me was done in Google Sheets, but it was. It was great.
It's a spreadsheet, bro. Yeah. I don't know why people don't try a little bit harder just to make it a little more human. It's like every day. You know how you can do like one nice thing? Make your spreadsheet prettier, bro. Yeah. That's like a, what is it called? I can't even remember what they're called. Bumper sticker.
Yeah.
I think it should be a bumper sticker. It's like, improve your spreadsheets.
Yeah, for all of our white collar pros out there, man, really take this to heart. Think about your spreadsheet design. Think about the size of those columns. Think about how you're differentiating the header from the data. Yeah.
Come on. It's just so helpful. Like what am I looking at? Some of these with like the multi-column and then like all of this information and data in there. It's just like, it's so meaningless. It just it hammers home to me that I don't understand what I'm looking at because it's it's impenetrable in so many ways. Like give the reader a clue.
Totally.
Right?
And
make something a little bigger.
And I would say, if anyone's saying, man, what are you talking about? Spreadsheet's just a grid. If you want to see some nicely designed ones, you look at a public company, you look at their last quarterly report, and you look at basically have a presentation. It's a slide deck. At least one of the slide deck items is going to be a spreadsheet, and they always make it look so good in those decks. It's beautiful.
Yeah, like maybe the data's like, but if the spreadsheet looks great, I'm like, I believe.
Yeah.
I believe in this company. It's like, wow, they took the time.
It's definitely a strategy because, people will be like, well, we lost 50% of our income and the users are down and, daily users is really petering off. But look at the colors. Pretty colors.
Yeah,
investors.
Well, pretty colors. I think it's like the dangling, the shiny thing. I think it's like, oh, yeah, I like that. Look, a bird. See?
Please don't sell. Please don't sell.
We're great. We're doing great. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think
spreadsheets.
in general, like when people think about typography, people who are really good at it, like I feel like I'm not great at it. Like I can look at something and tell like, hey, this is good, this is bad, but I can't necessarily do the why so much. Like I don't understand the theory. Like I've done a fair amount of design, but like I never had a formal training in it. but
Ooh, should we take a class together on typography? Or is that too nerdy for us, even for
I don't
us?
think that is too nerdy at all for us. And I think it pertains to
Okay.
both of, I mean, most people's jobs when it comes to like entrepreneurship or anything white collar. Like you got to
hmm
think about typography.
I have a question. Why are collars different colors?
So the reason is like white collar implies that you're wearing a white shirt, a button down.
Oh, you don't get dirty.
Right, you don't get it dirty. Blue collar, people used to wear like jumpsuits, and blue collar they'd literally have a blue collar with a button down, and they would be doing
But why
maintenance work.
blue?
Why blue? Oh, because
Yeah, why not purple
you're
or brown?
well, I mean, it could be those, but traditionally, I think we're talking about back in like the 40s and 50s. It
hmm
was blue, and I assume it's because white get really dirty really fast when you're doing manual labor.
Sure.
You work in a factory, you don't want a white shirt.
Yeah, but why not brown?
I
And
mean,
then there's pink collar. Have you heard pink
no,
collar?
is
And I'm
is
like,
that a
why
thing?
pink?
Is that a thing?
Yeah, service industry.
Uh, because waiters and waitresses wear pink. I don't.
Ah! I can think of Mel's Diner. Maybe, do you remember the show Mel's Diner? It might be before your time.
I
And
vaguely
there were like
remember.
little waitress outfits that we would wear that were pink. And then they'd have like white ruffled aprons.
Yeah,
Uh, can I tell you, I gotta say, here's something that's pretty terrific, an apron.
aprons are great.
Oh my God, how have we never talked about aprons before?
this is
I
this is
love a
untrod
good
territory for
apron.
sure.
Wow, we've never, in our 15, 16 now years of friendship, have never discussed an apron. And man, I am a
Dude,
fan.
we both lit up the second
It's
it came
got
up.
pockets. Yeah, right? It's got pockets. It protects your clothes from stuff. There are all different styles of them. What I really fantasize about is like one of those leather aprons for like a metalsmith, like an iron. What is it
Yeah.
called?
Oh,
A
a
blacksmith?
blacksmith.
Yeah. Yeah, like a leather one, just like, oh, because, tools from my forge might rebound and hit me, and I must be protected. Oh, I would love like a leather apron. Can you imagine with all kinds of pockets for my tools? Woo!
I think
Aprons.
you should make one for the embroidery that you do, the art that you make. Like I think you could have a
Yes.
really special apron that has, scissors, different needles, different threads. Like, oh, that'd be
Oh, a
great.
threader pocket. Oh my God, I'll just have all the things. Oh, wow. Tell me about the aprons in your life, Chris.
So I wear aprons every time I go to work, and yesterday I wore an apron pretty much all day because I work at an ice cream shop, and I really enjoy. We have brown aprons, so I guess but it's
Mm,
not a collar, so it's not brown collar.
okay.
It's kind of
How did you choose brown instead of blue?
well, I chose brown because it matched with our branding. Yeah, our branding.
Oh, okay, fair
Basically,
enough.
our branding
Yes.
uses brown, cream,
And blue.
blue, and cream. Those are kind of the three colors we put together.
Mhm. Yes, the classic colors of ice cream.
Yeah, and yeah. So I wore it all day yesterday. I was just thinking, like, man, it's great to have this apron on. It protects me because I was making waffle cones, and like the waffle cone maker is really hot. I burn my fingers every time, and it's just part of the gig. But just like having that apron there that I can like have a scooper in, pop it out.
Ugh,
It is wonderful. And then you take it off at the end of the day, and your shirt is immaculate.
pristine. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good apron.
good apron.
No, so when I paint, I wear like a smock. And like maybe these will speak to other people, the two people who are listening. Like I have this fantasy of my smock eventually becoming encrusted with different colors of like paint and ink and things like that because it's like, oh, look at me, I'm so old world. Um, I'm an artist. So I do wear like a smock, but like there is something that's like so handy about an apron. You just like put it on. And like even when I'm cooking, I don't wear an apron. But it just seems like, wait, that's like the key opportunity
Yeah.
to wear an apron. Oh, they're so great. When I had a store, a brick and mortar, I did wear an apron at work, even though nothing really necessitated it. It was just like, I just thought it was like a uniform
Yeah, it's part of the uniform.
over my clothes. Yeah. So I just like collect vintage aprons and put them on. And I guess I was making things, but nothing that really needed an apron. But wow, they're so handy.
They are, and I do feel that same way. Like at home, we have a couple for the kitchen, and we don't utilize them as much as we should, right? Like every time I cook, I could put that on and like, you're protected. It feels good.
Yeah, we really should. I mean, I have an apron. I should, you know what? Starting this weekend,
Yeah.
aprons.
And my kids love to put them on, like, because they love to cook with me, so they got to
Aw.
remind me more. But we usually only think to put them on when we're doing something like, okay, we're going to bake a couple things today. This is going to take a couple hours, put on the apron, and then you're serious about it. But why not?
Yeah.
Why not every day?
It's like always too late. When I think of an apron, it's like, I should have been wearing an apron because tomato sauce
Right.
or, olive oil splatter. And it's like, oh man. So, I just got to get into it. Ooh, tell me if this is just too wild. But what if I had aprons for work?
For work in general?
For my work, like my work every day, I put on an apron
Yeah.
and then I sign into my account and do my digital looking at a computer work. Is that weird?
No. In fact, I think it's brilliant because it's something that you could use to further strengthen your brand as a thought leader.
That's I don't know how you got the idea that I would ever be a thought leader or have a brand, but I enjoy that you're still sticking with it.
No, you absolutely have a brand. You have a plushie of yourself. That is brand, man. And
anyone can have a plushie of themselves.
yeah, but somebody else made it.
You want a plushie, Chris? I'll get you a plushie.
No. See, this is great because imagine like if you saw you already got it somewhat. Every time Marie goes on to a conference call, or at least oftentimes she makes her background one of my Belgian waffle sundaes, and it's colorful and it's always sticking out, and people talk about it, and it's become something of a calling card for you, right?
Yes, indeed. In fact, when I was a videotape for a work video that was externally facing, the production company printed out a 6 by 5 foot print of this waffle sundae that you had, and I can recite it to you. It is a mint chocolate chip waffle sundae with M&Ms and whipped cream and cherries.
That's right.
It is colorful and beautiful. I think it may be the best picture of a waffle I've ever seen, especially a waffle sundae, and it's definitely the best that you've ever taken. So I challenge you to take a better picture of a waffle sundae. I'm not sure you can do it.
Well, I might not
It's
be able
beautiful.
to, but I'm up to the challenge. Like I'm going to try this
Yeah.
spring. We get those going. Yeah.
Yeah, apron, and then I'll just be like, it'll say work across.
Well, dude, if you're giving like talks and talking to people, and that's your calling card, like people will remember you even more. And you already have so many unique things going on. I think that's just like another nice subtle piece of flair.
I feel like I have a lot of, I do have a lot of things. Like people think my hair is fake and I have very large glasses, but that's only because I like peripheral vision.
It's not a fashion thing at all. It's just utilitarian.
So I got them because I have a giant face. So these used to all be sunglasses. And I got them because I have a giant face and I need it to be covered. That seems reasonable, right? But then I noticed that, I don't know if you've ever worn other glasses. I mean, you have perfect vision, don't you? So if you've ever worn glasses, like, in the normal frames, it's like, there's like, here I can see, everything else is a blur, right? So peripheral vision isn't there. And I've just noticed that, like, I don't really see the frame when I wear these glasses. And that is amazing. It's like, I can look around and it's not like some weird blurriness. It's like my whole field of vision is covered.
No,
Love it.
That makes tons of sense. Like I don't wear glasses. I don't really know how good my eyesight is. I should probably get that checked.
Maybe.
But I understand like having something in your face all the time must be a huge adjustment, and then ongoing. Like, are you just used? It sounds like you don't just get used to it. It's still, you're aware that these glasses are there all the time, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, at least for me, I'm pretty aware of them, and it's like I can still see like itty bitty bits of periphery here. But yeah, I used to wear contacts constantly, and then a colleague's boyfriend is a research scientist and shared a lab with a group of people who were looking into the long-term effects of wearing contact lenses, and everyone in that group stopped wearing contact lenses.
Oh, because they were finding terrible things out.
Yeah, because like even if you clean them all the time and you have dailies, like little bits of debris would get caught between the contact lens and your eye and it would scratch your cornea. And they're like, mm. So everyone switched to glasses. And that kind of scared me because I really enjoy vision. So if we're going to talk about something terrific, I really love being able to see. I cherish it. I am a big fan of color, definitely nature. I'd like to maintain my eyesight as much as possible. It's a really cool thing.
No, I agree. Seeing things is amazing. Have you ever? Here's something I do. I don't know if this is weird, but
Okay.
sometimes, um, especially in the night, everyone else is asleep. I will be like, all right, what would this be? What would life be like if I was blind? And I close my eyes and I try to get through my house as best I can without opening my eyes at all. And it's
Whoa.
hard. Have you ever tried that?
I've tried something similar. I mean, I think there are definitely moments where I'm like, oh, can I get through in the dark and see, or not see, but figure out how well I would do it. I would say that I haven't had a ton of success. And closing my eyes would be an extra level of danger that I probably shouldn't engage in because I'm just scared, I guess.
Yeah.
But no, how successful are you?
Um, I'm pretty good. Like I can get from my first floor up to the third floor of my bedroom, and pretty
What?
good, pretty good. Like, and I do things like this might sound a little crazy, but I count the steps. I know how many steps are in each flight, and they're different. Like the first flight's
Ooh.
got 9, and then it's 7, and then it's 7, and then it's 7, and the basement's got 6. Um, so
But that sounds really that sounds smart to me though, because if you ever need to like get around the house and like your vision is obscured for some reason, it seems like a great safety measure, right? So you know exactly where you're going and how.
yeah,
Oh,
I don't know.
I wonder if I should figure that out. I think I'll just panic. Panic sounds more
Well,
me.
here's the thing. Like if it ever feels too dangerous, you can just open your eyes again, right?
Fair. Fair. Okay.
Yeah, like you're in
Yeah.
control of the situation at all times, and the second you stop feeling comfortable, you just resume having vision.
Okay, I want to talk to you about a thing.
Okay.
About okay. This reminds me of when I was young. I grew up in the Texas Panhandle. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this, but there's basically nothing there, right? And it's not like suburbs or anything like that. My my hometown was an hour from the nearest large town, and that large town at the time had 150,000 people.
Okay.
Okay, so it's pretty small. And in between are ranches and and a nuclear power plant. I think Pantex is where all nuclear warheads had to go and stuff like that. So it's like ranches, the largest inland oil refinery, just fields of nothing forever. And when you're driving from said big town Amarillo to my hometown Borger, Texas, um, there are no like lights along the road. It's just road. And so I have been in cars, and this would happen a lot. Um, People will drive these roads and it's just perfectly straight and flat, and they'll just turn off their lights and drive like that in pitch darkness. And I would always be like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, it's so
So you
terrifying.
weren't doing this.
No, no. Oh gosh. I'm too afraid. But I've been in cars where this would happen and people would like kid around about it and do that all the time. And it is like, first of all, okay, yes, it's beautiful, but man, that's dangerous. Holy shit, that's scary. Wow. But you can really see the stars.
Yeah, well, you can do it with the car stopped too, right?
I know, but they just drive down the lane. And so I think it was sort of like what you are experience. Like, how well can I drive from my hometown or from town to, or city to town without looking?
Yeah.
And apparently pretty okay. But it was terrifying. It'd be really terrifying. Now I would carpool with some folks from Borger to Amarillo to take or to Canyon, Texas, to take like oboe lessons. Nerd. And just do that sometimes where people turn out the lights and it would just be so scary. My God. And they're like, my dad once hit a cow, like a black Angus steer.
So your
Sorry.
dad he did that while he was doing like stealth mode?
No, no, not stealth mode, but I'm just saying, no, he like driving for reals. Like, so he was a surgeon and he was like the surgeon for a couple of hospitals in the area. So he had to drive one time for an emergency to like another town. And on his way back, he hit a cow that was in the middle of the road.
Okay.
And it totaled the car, but the cow lived. Till the next morning, or sorry, not cow, the steer lived till
Yeah.
the next morning. And yeah, so there's all kinds of dangers. Like a cow could be out there, or
Oh, there's all
cattle
kinds
could
of
be
things.
out in the road. Keep saying cow, and that's not right.
Like it's hard to imagine. Like you probably literally can't see anything,
Nothing is
right?
black.
So
No
you don't know
ice.
if the road is continuing straight.
Well, we know the road is straight.
Like it's just
That-
perfectly
It's
straight the whole time.
just perfectly straight and flat.
Yeah.
So that's why they're just like, I'm gonna just keep going like this. Wow, it's scary, but exhilarating, but scary, but exhilarating. It's interesting how close one gets to that line of like, now I'm so scared. Um, yeah, it's fun.
Yeah,
Which
it's
brings me to indoor water parks. Honestly, the line between terrified and excited. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so shortly after we do this stream, I'm gonna be going to an indoor water park called Great Wolf Lodge in Pennsylvania in the Poconos. It was a Christmas
Poconos?
gift from, yes, the Poconos, which just means the mountains. But it was a Christmas gift from my parents to me and my sister's family. It's the kids can go to a water park and have a lot of fun. And yeah, we're staying overnight. They've got a hotel room that's got like a bunk bed themed to a cabin. And I'm looking forward to it. I've never been to an indoor water park. I've never,
Neither have I.
like, I didn't even know this thing existed until they were like, this is the gift. And I was like, what is that? But I'm excited to try it out. And the thing is, like, apparently people like you have some
Yes,
trepidation
teetering
with
on the edge.
with the
Yes.
idea of an indoor water park, mostly because you're like, germs are gross, right?
Well, germs are gross. I mean, do we disagree that germs are gross?
I mean, germs are gross.
Germs are
Well,
gross. Are germs are pretty gross.
germs are everywhere, though. It depends the concentration of
That
the
doesn't
germs.
mean they're not gross.
just,
yeah.
just them existing, I don't think
mean-
is necessarily gross.
Fair. I mean, first of all, yes, it's kind of okay. Some germs are okay. Not all germs. Not all germs.
Not all germs.
Not all germs. Keeps making me think of gerbs, but not all germs. But it just seems like what is the word? It's also with pool, cesspool, like of the potential. And I mean nothing against this place or the Poconos, but it just seems like there's an opportunity there for disease to proliferate. Clearly, they're an operating business that continues to function and does very well. So they must figure out what they're up to, right? But personally, it makes my mind go to the potential for the communication of disease.
Fair enough. I mean,
And maybe that's part of the thrill.
I see that's not part. I don't even think that's a possibility here. Like,
Okay.
some people get very weirded out about like surfaces and like surface, like disease transmission is so unlikely. Like, if you look at the statistics behind it, it's just not gonna happen. And that's one of the things people jump to at the the beginning of the pandemic, right? Like, everyone was like, "Oh, I gotta disinfect everything," and I understand.
Disinfect my mail.
Yeah, disinfect my mail. People were spraying down their grocery bags
Groceries.
and
Mhm.
yeah, and it was people were very worried. And it made sense. Like, we didn't really know how this disease was being
Yeah.
communicated, but like they went in and did studies and they were like, oh well, it looks like COVID actually isn't transmitted through surfaces at all, and like that was pretty well communicated several months into it, and people still like hand sanitizer like crazy again. Some people are still spraying down their bags. They're worried about surfaces, and I think it's kind of like the first thing a germaphobe jumps to. A germaphobe jumps to like, oh man, those surfaces.
I don't consider myself a germaphobe. Like I have an outdoor pool and like I just like take some bugs and leaves out of it and then I'm like swimming.
Yeah.
And I'm okay.
Well, no.
I'm a fan of the 5-second rule. Like, sure, that's fine. It's probably fine. I don't know. It just seems like an enclosed space. Okay, maybe here's where I'm
It's
coming
several
in.
stories tall. Just to be clear.
But I think there's something peculiar to me. Children are there.
Yes.
And to me, children are the ultimate vector. Like, I don't know, they're jam hands and they're just like putting things in their mouths.
Young children
And
are doing that. Yeah.
I just feel like, okay, I think maybe that's the thing for me. It's not just like it's an indoor water park. Sure, I'm sure they've figured it out with like UV sanitation and chlorine and yada yada. But kids are there. And they're just like putting things in their mouths and touching whatever. And
Yeah, the thing is, though, as a parent, like, you've already been everywhere the kids are. You know what the kids are doing, and, you know, you just have to accept it or you will go crazy, right? Your hair will fall out, and you'll be a bald parent that everyone's like, wow, look at that weirdo, man.
no offense to bald parents. My God, Chris.
No offense, but, like, all right, so there's difference between bald and, like, I went bald from stress and too much disinfectant. Like,
just pulling your hair out.
Pulling your hair out. Like,
Yes.
there's a strained look about a person that you can be like, you are prematurely bald, sir or ma'am. Wow.
Or ma'am. Or person.
Sir,
Come
ma'am, or
on,
person.
give it the times. Yeah, give it the times.
I refuse.
Contemporize, Chris. I don't know. I think that, yeah, you're used to your own children and their germs, which not all germs, but yeah, I think it's like when you interact with new people and they bring their own cool new microbiome to you. It's like, meh.
Yeah, so you say this thing. I'm going to push back about you being not a germaphobe because, like, you say these things in your own home. You're comfortable. You don't want to leave your home, though. You don't want to go where people are.
I went out over the weekend. I went somewhere to a cafe.
And that was notable, right? Like, that was like, wow.
Yeah. Well,
babies day out.
Hey, I will say I do have a pretty serious heart condition.
Yes.
And also, I don't like being sick, bro.
Yeah, but all right.
Yeah.
Getting a cold isn't going to affect your heart.
It actually does sometimes.
Does it really?
It definitely affects my mood. Like, and also I have like work to do.
Well, yeah.
I mean, getting a cold sucks. And I've been like years without a cold at this point. Like I had like one cold because I went outside and saw a person, Ellen, if you ever hear or see this. And then I had someone come over, and then it was Ellen again, who has small kids, and I got sick again.
Yeah.
So twice I've interacted with humans, and I've gotten sick, Ellen. So you know what? I don't care for it. It's not my favorite.
Well, the thing is,
I spent my youth being ill, you know,
Yeah.
and then the heart condition and like other things that have happened. It's like, yeah, homeostasis is rad.
But all right, your immune system's, in theory, unaffected by everything else, right? Like your immune's, in theory, pretty good. You have no reason to believe otherwise, right?
Yeah, no, it hasn't said anything to me.
Well, no, it hasn't said anything. And the thing is, like, but it's weak because it hasn't been worked out. You know, you're
weak, bro.
Yeah.
You don't know.
I do know. You get sick, and then if you're used to getting like little colds, the cold bounces off of you.
Well, okay. So in my mind, okay, this is just all headcanon. I've never spoken this out loud. When I'm out in the pool or in the yard and doing stuff, I'm always like, oh, I hope my immune system is enjoying this.
That's good.
I really do think that. Like bees will land in the pool, and like one time, like we have like raccoons out there, big raccoons, and like a rat fell in the pool one time, and Ben was like, drain the pool, and I'm like, no, it's fine, chlorine. There's squirrels, rabbits. We have so many animals back there, and I'm just like, I think my immune system might enjoy this.
No.
You know, diversify that flora.
It's good.
Like gut flora and stuff like that.
It sounds like you're more afraid of human beings than you are of animals and nature.
Yes, absolutely. But I think that's true of many people in modern life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I might posit that it may be somewhat illusory, right?
I don't know. More harm has befallen me at the hands of human beings than any animal.
Yeah. But you've also probably been exposed to human beings more than other animals, right?
I don't know, man. There are a lot of animals in Texas.
So you're like...
I've seen hella scorpions.
So you're like...
no scorpion has ever hurt me.
You're like Snow White frolicking through the woods, and all the animals are on you, and you're like spinning around and singing songs, and you're just like, none of you are giving me influenza.
Yes, none of them have ever given me a communicable disease, except maybe one time a tick, actually. Never mind. I did get something from a tick.
Yeah.
And it was actually really bad. Like I had to stay out of work for like I didn't want to work. Oh my God. It was sixth grade. It's not work. I had to like stay home from sixth grade for like 6 weeks because I did get a tick-borne illness that was never identified.
Oh,
Stay away from ticks.
yeah.
They suck.
Literally, they suck, man.
Yeah. Hey. No, but like I used to spend a lot of time out in like woods and dirt and stuff as a child. I was sick a lot. But yeah.
But your immune system was probably pretty healthy back then, even though you got sick, like because you got sick.
I don't know. It was like so healthy it was attacking itself. We're getting far from things that are terrific.
No, I think immune systems are terrific. Like
immune systems are terrific. They get a little overboard and they give you things like arthritis. And I had like arthritis when I was a young person. I was like, ow, this hurts a lot.
Yeah. Well, and that tends to kick in because like I don't think human beings were not necessarily designed to live as long as we do, perhaps as old as you and I are. Perhaps we are beyond the we're not designed to
fall downhill from 18, Chris.
Yeah.
Like what?
But what's crazy, like immune systems, they encounter a disease and they basically have a memory, like a collective memory in your body about like what antibodies to provide to fight specific things. And that's so crazy because you know that we all are afflicted with millions of different types of bacteria over the course of our lives that our immune system is fighting, and like it keeps a log. Like I would love to learn more about how that memory system like works. Like do they have RAM? What is happening down there?
You know what? I bet they have sweet, well-designed spreadsheets.
Oh,
yeah. Color coded.
They got so many tabs. Like, well, this is.
Oh man, and they're like the tabs make sense.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh yeah, I get it. It's like, oh yeah. And it's like really well designed, colorful, typeface is excellent.
And the really good ones, like they draw your eyes visually down to the tabs so you don't forget that there are tabs. Like
yes.
They use color pathways and they're like, oh, look, there's tabs, right?
Oh my God. Remember chicken pox? Oh, of course. And it was like, how did we respond to chicken pox? And there's probably like a chart in there somewhere too. Oh, the formulas.
It's all inside of us. It's happening right now.
I know. These beautiful spreadsheets exist inside me. I'm really happy about it. And that's terrific.
You know, we were talking a little bit earlier, and for some reason, I brought up the idea of another thing that I love, and I'm wondering, we've talked a little bit about this in the past, but diners. Like, I love a good diner, and I feel like diner culture is, like, in a decline right now, at least around here. Like, we've lost a lot of diners in the Philly area, but I miss them, and I love them. I don't go to them nearly as much as I would love to, but I don't know. How do you feel about diners?
I love a good diner. Oh my gosh. This is all bringing me back to my youth again. Like when we take these drives, like from Borger to Amarillo, like I always wanted to eat like diner sort of fare. And my compatriots would always be like, let's eat like Thai food or Chinese food or this kind of food. And I would say, man, I eat ethnic food every day. I would like to eat regular food. Like, not that the Filipino food is irregular in some way, but like they would sort of like, ooh, cool, new, like experiencing this different culture. And I'm like, that's great and all. Can we have a cheeseburger or like some fries, a malted? That I don't know. I'm a fan. I haven't found a good diner here yet. But you know, of course in San Francisco there's a Mel's Diner. But you know what? We were talking about a diner and I think it was 2 episodes ago. Rudy's Can't Fail Cafe kind of had a diner vibe.
Yeah.
And I really, really enjoyed that place and I'd hang out there all the time. I don't know. Something about it. I love it. Yeah, I love the ones with the jukebox at the table.
Yeah, I enjoy the food, but like the food's not necessarily the main draw to me. Like the food's you go to a random diner, it could be hit or miss. Like sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not great, and sometimes like a portion of the menu's great, and the rest you really don't want to think about. But just being in the diner, I love. Like they love chrome in a traditional diner, like in Jersey.
Yes.
You know, you got Formica on all the surfaces. You got linoleum in some of them.
Booths.
Yeah,
Yeah,
booths.
like a booths. Yeah.
Yeah, that
I
essence of being like, I would love a kitchen that was done out like a real classic diner. Like,
I see.
that would be great.
Maybe it's like sort of an Americana vibe,
Yeah,
I think. Yeah, I get
and
it. Do you watch that program, Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives, which in our household we call in it and it. Because I think you might enjoy it.
I've seen it a couple times because a couple of my favorite places have been featured in that show, and
Mm.
so they're always like, we were in diners, drive-ins, and dives, and like they have pictures of Guy Fieri all over the place.
Yes.
And so I like to watch the episodes of places I've been, and then like I like to look at other episodes of other local places I might go. Because if it's some random place in Oklahoma, I'm probably never going to go there.
I don't know.
I don't. I'm more
Oklahoma,
interested in
Oklahoma.
things like I might be able to eat. Right. At least
Well,
that's me.
like I don't mind watching food shows and thinking like maybe I should try making that. Like definitely I've tried to make a Juicy Lucy from that in it on it show. And I've made one at home. I made one out of like I tried once a Juicy Lucy that was made out of ground lamb with like feta inside, and that was really interesting. So yeah, I watch food shows for potentially making it. So like you like the sort of Americana aesthetic of the diner.
Yeah,
Um,
and I think like some of them really lean into the Americana, and like that
mhm.
specifically isn't what I love. Like it's because sometimes they do it too much. So, like every wall has like there's Marilyn Monroe, there's Elvis, and
Yeah,
there's
it's
like
cheesy.
a
Yeah,
jukebox, and like it's a little too much on red, white, and blue everywhere.
on the nose.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess I'm thinking more of like a very stereotypically like Jersey sort of diner experience, like Jersey.
There's authenticity
They're
to it
right. They're like
there. Yeah,
this isn't built to look like this. This was built like
because it is
it is
this.
that. They built this 50
Yeah.
years ago, and this was what the style was, right?
Yes. Did I ever take you to Nick's on Rockaway Beach when you
No.
were living in the Bay Area? Oh man, what a missed opportunity. So at some point, you and I have to go back up to Northern California and go to a place in Pacifica called Nick's in Pacifica, yeah, right on Rockaway Beach, and they have like the old school tuck and roll booths on one side where like it was like a bar and a dance floor, and they like on I think on weekends they have like an 80s cover band play music you can dance to. It's pretty old school, but it's in a genuine way. Like it's been there for years, and they have a crab salad sandwich there that is bonkers.
See, and that's not the sort of
Uh,
thing I would ever order like on my own.
sir, sir, we need to go there. Let us go now. I haven't had breakfast. Oh wait, you have to go to the water park. But I think we should go there. It's only what a 6 hour drive for me and probably about the same plane ride for
Yeah, about
you.
a 6 hour plane
So
ride. Yeah.
yeah, we could be there. I mean, we're going halvesies on it. Um, and we'll just get some crab sandwiches and then we'll hang out at the beach and I think one time I saw witchcraft there, just FYI. But yeah, oh, you would love it because it's got that diner vibe, but it's got delicious foods.
It's great. And that's the thing. Like, I feel there's a lot of diners. They have like a specialty. I love it when a place is like, this is what we're known for. There
Yes.
used to be a diner up in my neighborhood, and they had a night. I think it was Tuesday nights. It was all you could eat pot pie, and the pot pies were really good. But it was like $9.99.
How much does a person need to eat?
I could
a pot
put away a
pie?
good amount of pot pie.
Does this look like a man who's had all you can eat? Um, wow.
Yeah, so
That
we
is
would love that.
yeah.
I'd go with my friends, and this was post college, college time. So of course you're pushing your boundaries. You are trying to fit
Yeah.
as many pot pies in your belly as you can.
Yes, that's what, those young kids are always doing when they're pushing their boundaries is experimenting with pot pies. I hope that your children may avoid the demon of experimenting with pot pies. It's a gateway drug to actual pie.
Yeah,
Um,
it would. No, like I guess my parents are very fortunate because I never. That's about as crazy as I went. Right, I would be.
whoa!
I'm gonna go to Old Country Buffet and shove as many biscuits in me as I can, and let's see how many biscuits can fit. Yeah.
You know what I haven't been to in a very long time? A buffet.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like,
Yeah.
took a big hit from the pandemic specifically because of that surface
Uh,
stuff.
oh, I just I don't know. Like in Texas, it seems like buffets or cafeterias were really popular. Lubies. I don't know if you've ever heard of a
No,
Lubies.
that's a terrible name.
Yeah. Luby''S. Actually, okay. This is not terrific, but they actually entered the I think the larger American zeitgeist because there was a shooting at a Luby's once.
Oh,
But yeah, like Luby's Cafeteria was a really popular chain. I don't know if they're still around. I think Golden Corral, if you've ever
yeah,
heard of
we have
them.
those here.
Yeah, Texas is about that life.
See,
Like, and I don't know
I
why.
like buffets. My wife does not like buffets, so I haven't gone
Is it
to a
a
ton of them.
surfaces thing?
I think for her, it's largely like she's always unimpressed with the quality of the food, and for
Hmm.
me, like quality of food's part of it, but like it's again about the experience. Like I love going there and you get a plate and you're serving yourself and you can go up and back. Yeah. You get to look at other people, see what they're doing. What are they eating? What's that guy gonna do? What's he gonna put in his plate next? Like, it's fun.
Have you been to Las Vegas,
I,
Chris?
I was once with my mom, dad, and sister. Yeah.
Buffets.
Yes.
They've got buffets. Yeah, I think maybe you should go. They have, I know that there's not a lot of stuff for you in particular, being a straight edge man as you are, but like with the kids, like you could go, like New York has like this is where Ben and I would hang out when we used to have to go there. Um, they have like a carnival sort of scene, sort of like Coney Island,
Yeah.
right? And you can like play all the carnival games, like the thing where you roll the ball and make the horse go, or you shoot the water gun into the clown's mouth. And it's really fun. They have like serious arcades. And like, when
Yeah.
was the last time you went to an arcade? Because I haven't been in a million. So, see, yeah, I'm going to push back on you're pushing back on my being a germaphobe because I used to go to arcades
Used
and
to.
spend my whole day.
Used to.
Well, find me an
There
arcade.
are definitely
Find
arcades
me
in Los
one.
Angeles. There's gotta be.
Who earns where? Point to
I'll
one.
find one on Google
Name it
Maps and
now.
we'll find it.
Name it now, and if you can't name it now, it doesn't exist. I'll
I've been
count
to
to
LA
three.
once in
One,
my
two,
life. I
three.
don't know
Oh.
much about those. But no, I totally agree. Arcades are amazing, and I miss them. Buffets, arcades, like I would happily die in either of those.
But you know what? I don't mean to get really deep on you here, but I'm just going to, I did major in philosophy. I'm just going to put shut my glasses. Um,
Anime
an
villain.
arcade is sort of like a buffet
Yeah,
of
it
games.
really is.
Wow! Whoa! Woo! Drawing connections.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
like
and
that show
you were talking about Las
connections.
Vegas and in Las Vegas, I don't know if it's still open, but Sega had their own arcade
Say it.
there. Yeah, and it was called GameWorks. It may still be called GameWorks, and it was huge. It was
I did not know
it was
that.
wonderful, and there was kind of a chain that they had a few around America, and they did have one in Philadelphia when I was in high school, and we would go there and have so much fun on Tuesdays because they had this thing called $10 Tuesdays. And all it was is you pay $10 and you usually you pay per game. No, you get in for $10. Everything is free. Free play.
What? How are they making money on this? Do you have to buy food and drinks?
No, you don't have to buy anything. Like they had some other things you could buy, but it was mostly just about getting people in there. And it was Tuesday. Like they're like, people don't come
Okay.
out on a Tuesday,
Okay.
right?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'd come out on a Tuesday. Jeez.
Oh, we did. We
Woo!
did like, and
Woo!
those were amazing times, right? Like you feel like
Ugh.
we were like teenagers, but like going around like, oh, everything is free. It's just $10.
Oh man, arcades. Oh, I really miss them.
Yeah.
What was your arcade game? Your go-to? The one you always had to put the money on?
We were big fans of the House of the Dead series, specifically like 1 and 2.
You're a younger man than I.
Yeah, the like well, so and those were a little older, like and Street Fighters, the various versus games. We played a lot of that. But at GameStop, they had this really amazing air hockey table, and
Ooh.
and
Air hockey is a great way to hurt your hands.
yeah, well, yes. But they had this thing, and I forget what it's called, but we called it 3-puck play because it would be a mode that would pop in like midway through and say 3-puck play, and it would dispense 3 pucks down. And so you'd be fighting with one other person. It might be 2 and 2. You could do 2 and 2, but 3 pucks would be in play, and so like it's madness. But it was simple, stupid, amazing fun. Like I would love to
Uh,
see another one of those systems. Mm.
I love that. I just love that. I miss those times. You know what I could go for right now? Skee ball.
Yes, yes.
I could go for some skee ball.
I played skee ball
Yeah.
this summer at the shore.
Ugh.
Skee ball's still very much alive in the Jersey Shore. Yeah.
Well, there's this Santa Monica Pier situation. I imagine they have skee ball there. We tried to go, actually, Ben and
How'd you
I,
fail?
over the holidays. Well, Ben was like, it kind of clears out in Los Angeles over the holidays. And I'm like, doubt, X to doubt. And so we decided like to drive down there to see if we could like just park and walk around. And it was packed.
Oh.
There was there's traffic. There were just hella tourists. Like big mobs of people were crossing the street against the lights. And I was like, wow, we thought like in our neighborhood definitely had cleared out. Like there weren't very many people around, very many cars. But like getting down towards the shore, especially the pier, it was really very busy. And it was so disappointing because our dog was like, I want to get out and be on the beach. And she could see it and see the waves. And then it's just like this walls of people. So we did not go. We couldn't find parking.
No,
So,
it sounds like your doubt was well placed.
yes, X to doubt. I would love to take my husband there sometime. I've been before with my cousin a long time ago, but
It sounds fun.
it's
It
fun,
sounds like the sort of thing that you could go to in the winter, possibly, like at a not holiday time. I know, but it was
Okay.
when at Christmas time, like people probably travel into LA to see family. Like major metropolitan areas tend to get busier when it's the holidays.
Leave everyone.
Yeah,
Oh, you're just having the worst time today with that.
I'm gesticulating too wildly. Sorry, everyone. Yeah.
Oh, it's not Dave. Forgive him. Will you understand? Yeah,
I'll get better. I'm
but
getting better.
I could go for a carnival. I could go for like that kind of situation. I like that it's outdoors though.
Yeah.
Just saying. Just saying. I've been to a water park. It was outdoors.
Yeah.
Wet and wild.
I want to see.
Nice.
All right. How about this? Would you make a resolution to go to a carnival this year?
I don't believe in New Year's
It's
resolutions.
not New Year's resolution. It's a resolution. Period. It's not New Year's.
Just okay. It's just between us
it's
to a carnival.
A pact. Yeah, to a carnival. Like you're just saying.
Do they have traveling carnivals anymore?
Yes, they are still a thing.
Okay, it's outdoors. If it's dog friendly,
Okay,
I will go to a carnival.
that sounds great.
Absolutely.
Oh, cool. I'm good.
Because I just want to bring my dog places. She's getting older, and I want to be with her.
Take
Yeah,
her
I
on the
like her.
Tilton Whirl.
Oh, I cannot do that. I got that thing in my ear.
Well, I don't think the dog would enjoy it either.
No, yeah, she. But this is terrifying. I mean, she hates a plastic bag. She's like terrified of a plastic bag. I don't think the Tilt-A-Whirl will go. Ben loves a roller coaster, and it's like I've never seen him smile so big
Wow.
in his life.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, loves roller coasters. Like the picture they take, of you, just like ear to ear.
You got to get that boy on a roller coaster.
I know. I would love to. Although one time, okay, I'm sorry, we can wrap after because I have so many stories about this. We did go to like the state fair in Sacramento, and pardon me, he did the thing with the gravity thing.
Yeah.
Do you know where they take you up and they just free fall?
Yes.
Right? And he was wearing slip-on shoes, and they're like, "Hey, sir, take off your shoes because they're just gonna fly off." And he's like, "No, I'm not doing that." Because he's very contrary, as we've seen. And they're like, "Please, sir, they're just gonna fly off. They could hurt someone." He's like, "No." And he went on it, and he was like, "Oh my God, my shoes almost came off." And then, for some reason, like he's like, it was fun, it was exhilarating, and he was really excited to do it. But then we went on like a Ferris wheel, and for some reason, like all of the I don't know, adrenaline, etc., from that free fall, like hit him, and he was like holding me really tightly, afraid he was going to fall again. And I have to say, the safety precautions on that Ferris wheel were not like wildly great. There was like a little chain where the door should be. So
So it's on you not to
was a
climb out
little
and kill
scary.
yourself. Yeah.
Yes, it's like, yeah, don't be a jerk. You'd ruin the Ferris wheel for everyone else. So he was like clinging to me, and I'm like, you're going to push me out of this Ferris wheel right now. Please sit across from me. And he's like, oh my God. And that was fun. That was a good time. We still talk about it, but take off your shoes.
Yeah. I love that he would just like, no, even though like, it's very clear, like, this is a possibility. You see what's happening. Like, your shoes are probably
Yeah.
going to come off like that.
Your shoes are going to come off and hit somebody.
I'm surprised they let him go. Like, they're just like, whatever, man. Like, you.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. They're not getting paid enough to deal with that kind of
jerk.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like very obstinate, I'd say.
Yeah.
He's not combative. He's just like, no.
No. In that line, like, so it's great to like people who are usually really hard to please. Like, Ben doesn't strike me as someone who is filled with childlike glee often, but like when he does, I imagine it's incredible.
It's pretty ridiculous. I mean, it's a lot of fun. No, he's I'm easy to please, I would say. I'm like, wee, a blue one.
Yeah.
But sometimes he'll like do a little dance for me, and that's like, what's happening? This is incredible.
Here's a question.
Yeah, it is.
Would you ever take him to Disneyland?
He's been to Disney World many times. Wait, no, my parents took us all one time, and basically I dragged him around, and then we sat in England's pub at Epcot Center.
Yeah.
And he like drank a beer, and then we played cards until it was time to meet up with our families again.
That sounds like a great Epcot
and that was pretty nice.
Yeah,
honestly, it was fun. I drank tea, we had fish and chips, or I had fish and chips, and he had chips, and then we just played cards, and that was it.
But it's the sort of place I can imagine that you might actually be able to enjoy yourself, because you could maybe go on the tame rides, which there are a good amount, the dark rides.
Yes.
You could probably do those fine. Enjoy some food, enjoy the ambiance, and maybe watch Ben go on a roller coaster.
Yes.
See him get filled with that childlike glee. It might be a good afternoon.
It's wonderful. Yeah. I mean, if we can go bypass the lines, because if there's something he cannot stand, it's a line.
Yeah.
Like grocery stores, like standing in line. I mean, there's like 2-3 people. He might just abandon his groceries right there and not, because he's like, no lines.
Right.
So we'd have to bypass lines. So if I won that $1 billion lotto or whatever it was, I would rent out Disneyland for the day so that he could go on rides. For me, and I think we've discussed this before, the most exhilarating part is usually waiting in line, listening to all the warnings about people like me not being able to ride the ride. Yes. Because we did go on a roller coaster in Las Vegas together. And the whole time it's like, hey, if you have a heart condition, you don't. And I was like, oh my God, like the whole time. But I was fine.
You were fine.
The roller coaster.
Probably
I screamed the whole time.
You're probably more freaked out about those warnings and the anxiety than your actual heart was doing, right?
Yes. I mean, like Ben had said, I've always wondered who's screaming on a roller coaster, and it's you. So, it was me.
Dude, I scream on roller coasters. That's part of the fun.
You do?
Yeah.
He just grins. It's just the grin. Wicked grin the whole time. Never seen his face so massively teethy.
Yeah, my wife and I are actually planning a trip to Disney World for September of this year. And we're excited because we're going to ditch the kids again.
Good. I'm sure they're happy to hear that. The kids.
Yeah. Well, so we got some points to use up in our timeshare, but also the best time to go is when kids are in school. So we are going to go in the middle of September. In the middle of September is the best. Like traditionally, like it's the shortest lines. It's easier to get the food and everything.
Pro tips.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
The second, like, because it's hard for parents to go. But what we're going to do is we're going to leave. We're going to, I guess, drop the kids off with my parents. And my parents are going to take the kids to school for a couple days. And it's Rosh Hashanah weekend. So they don't even have to do it that many days because they have off one of those days. We don't know which yet, because we haven't gotten the school calendar for next year yet. But yeah, we're looking forward to having a couple time. Be good.
Oh, yeah. Maybe I'll log that away so that maybe I can convince Ben to ditch one day and we'll just go down to Disneyland.
That would be really fun. I'd love to hear about it.
I mean, I would like to try a ride.
Yeah.
It could be fun.
I think it would be fun. And I've never been to Disneyland. I was across the street from it once, but I would love to visit that. And I would love to visit with you guys. Like,
come over. Let's make a trip, and then we go to Nick's. We're just all over California. Let's just do the things. And we got to go to Carlsbad Caverns. I've wanted to go there. I don't know. Caves are neat.
Caves are neat. I think we did actually. I think we did a pretty good job talking about terrific things for almost this whole time.
I mean, sometimes you're like, that's kind of negative, germs. But you know what? Overall, I'd say this episode was pretty terrific.
I agree.
Yeah.
But yes.
Well, have fun.
Swimming. You too. I'll let you know
Swimming
about all
filth.
the diseases I get. I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah. Just don't touch any like the children of the jam hands. Anyway, enjoy yourself.
I will. But yeah, everyone, we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.